Just like that. And they're actually sharp. Oh my god, the dress is so cute. Scary and convincing maniac. Hi everyone, Bursic here, and in this video I will be reviewing Emily Krueger, the daughter of Freddy Krueger. This doll is a one-of-a-kind doll based on Frankenstein. I love Frankie's mold so much, and I'm insanely happy about adding another doll made from this mold to my collection. The doll was created by an amazing one-of-a-kind doll artist, Lane Shepard, together with my friend Eliana Shpakova. Lane painted the doll's face, and Eliana made the wig and created a detailed, interesting outfit. As you can see, I got inspired and got into a Halloween spirit and gave myself this creepy makeup. Please do not be too strict on me. I just wanted to be closer to this character and to be able to narrate her story in this unusual image. A Nightmare on Elm Street is a series of horror movies about a serial killer, Freddy Krueger, and is associated with my childhood for me, even though it sounds a little bit weird. The thing is, this movie was very popular when I was little, and I remember that every Sunday my friend and I would gather at somebody's house and watch one of the series of the movie. They were so scary. I remember that we even played Freddy Krueger games, creating and recreating different crazy images. By the way, I want to mention that once during the San Diego Comic-Con, I met Mark Patton. He's one of the actors from the Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, where by the plot, Freddy Krueger takes over his body. So you can only imagine how long I've been dreaming about a doll as Freddy or his daughter's character. The doll from Monster High as Freddy's daughter never happened because in Monster High, they usually focus on classic horror movies and myths. But I also want to mention that in the beginning, this doll was not meant to be Freddy Krueger's daughter. We just decided to create a creepy, non-standard, one-of-a-kind doll for my collection. But when I saw the doll without an outfit or a wig, just her painted face, I got this idea about Freddy. The thing is that the doll was wearing a cape, and in this look it reminded me of Amanda Krueger. She's a nun and the mother of Freddy Krueger. And respectively, later on, I started perceiving this doll as Freddy's daughter and Amanda's granddaughter. According to the movie's plot, Freddy had a daughter, and she was born from his wife before he became a serial killer. When she was born, she was named Catherine Krueger, but after she went into foster care and was adopted, her name was changed and she became Maggie Burroughs. By the way, in the 6th installment of the movie, when Maggie is an adult, she is successfully sending her daddy to hell. But my doll is not the daughter from the movies. It is neither Catherine nor Maggie. It is Emily, a long-lost daughter nobody knew about until now. She was born when Freddy left the living and was resurrected in the Kingdom of Dreams. She is the fruit of love between Freddy and one of the female dream demons. Krueger gave his heart and soul to that demon. She gave him a life within dreams and a child from the beyond in return. Despite his manic tendencies, Freddy really loves his daughters, both the first and the second, but he gets to spend more time with Emily because they both live in the world of dreams beyond. Moreover, with time, the daughter was able to temper her dad's cruelty and guide him to the right path. As we all know, Freddy feeds on fear and souls of children, and before killing his victim, he tortures it, bringing the victim's individual phobias into life. From early childhood, Emily was nursing a plan to switch to a no-kill eating, feeling mortified every time her dad would leave for the hunt for kids' souls in order to feed them both. One time when she was little, she watched a cartoon, Monsters, Inc., where the monsters were extracting the electrical energy to feed their town out of children's screams. Plus, all the kids were left safe and unharmed. Yes, it is just a cartoon, but why not try? She had to work really hard on persuading her dad. I mean, he was a long-term, old-school maniac, but the love for his daughter sealed the deal. And for the first time in his life, Freddy brought a jar with the child's fear and a scream from the hunt instead of a soul. So he figured out the victim's phobia, terrified it, making it scream, collected that scream and fear into the jar, and left without harming the victim. Emily was insanely worried and panicking that the plan might fall through, that the children's screams would not be enough to feed them. But it worked. It turned out that you can easily live on children's screams and fears. They are, of course, not as nutritious as the children's souls, and they need to hunt more often now, but is still a better alternative than killing anyone. Emily even started hunting herself, but her catch is just enough for a small snack because she's too nice and harmless and doesn't do a good job scaring the kids. Emily is 14 years old. She was born on an International Dream Day, March 18. Emily is a very thoughtful, very smart, and well-read girl. She can speak many languages, and that helps her in scaring kids around the globe. Emily prefers reading and studying languages at night when the rest of the monsters are asleep. The thing is that she is a dweller of the world of dreams, and she physically doesn't need sleep. As you've noticed, Emily's character is not the same as her father's, because Emily lived through her own life and nobody, thank God, burned her alive. She's floating in the kingdom of dreams in her airy, light dress, just like her mother, a dream demon. Emily's always wearing her velour cape to go on her hunting trips for the children's fears. She thinks that she looks the most scary in this image. But honestly, it is highly debatable because Emily always stays cute in any outfit. And by the way, for her 14th birthday, her dad Freddy gifted her this knitted striped dress, similar to that sweater that Freddy Krueger was wearing. He really wanted her specifically to wear it only when she goes hunting. Freddy Krueger is a famous person in the world beyond, and he wants his daughter to look like him and to be recognized. But for now, Emily is only wearing the sweater to the family holidays and prefers to wear her own dress on the hunting trips because she wants to scare the kids with her own methods and not with the image of her famous and scary dad. She's even trying to hide her glove with the razors behind her back or under the long sleeves during the hunt because it doesn't come off. The thing is, her dad Freddy never took the glove off. It was always on his hand and basically became a part of him, and therefore his child from the world beyond, Emily, was born with this glove. The razors were growing together with the baby, and it was a huge problem when she was little because knives in the small child's hands are very dangerous. They tried to dull them, covering them with another glove, but as they say, you can't go against nature. The razors would get sharp again, would cut through all the gloves, and as a result, the little girl often injured herself. As you can see, she has the marks on her face from that, her scars, including this long scar that crosses her face diagonally. There are also scars on her body. The good news is that as she got older, Emily got used to the hand and is using it in her everyday life, helps around the house, and is happy that she got the hand from her dad's character and not the burned skin. It is now time to check out the doll, and let's start with her stunning face. It was painted by an artist named Lane Shepard. I love Lane's artwork because it is a combination of insane cuteness and some kind of morbidness at the same time. The doll's faces often have some kind of scars, cuts, bandages, and it looks pretty interesting. I'm so glad that my collection gets this edition of an unusual, slightly creepy girl made by this authorship. Lane told me that this doll happened on her 3rd attempt. So she has to redo her artwork sometimes, and in this case was particularly nervous and really tried hard. And I am over the moon happy that so much labor was invested in this doll. The doll for me, for my collection. She turned out to be so lively, very interesting, and her eyes, they're simply piercing into my soul. And that means that all her effort paid off. I really liked the doll, even from the first glance when I just saw her face. And now in her full image, she's something unbelievable. To paint the face, Lane used brushes, watercolor pencils, acrylic paints, and pastels, and of course the clear spray, a fixing agent. The doll's face came out so kind, so touching, but at the same time her clouded eyes are perfect representation of her spirit essence of the dream world dweller. In the light blue eyes there are a lot of white glares of an unusual shape, and the irises are not traditionally black but red. I really like how the eyelashes are painted. There's an outline of an eyeliner under her eye contour. Also on the bottom, the inner corners of her eyes are highlighted with white. Under the eyes, there are red circles. On the top, there are blue spots. I don't think it's eyeshadow, more like a characteristic of her sickly face. There's redness around her scars as well, and that makes them look realistic. The scars are very thin and accurately painted. There's a scar on her cheek and her forehead, and I especially like the long diagonal scar. If you look closer, there are tiny red spots on her face, and they also look like inflammation. The black eyebrows look touching and have hairs painted at the base. The nose and the area around the upper lip are contoured and also looked inflamed. The lips are deep plum and have pretty shine, and the upper lip is darker than the lower. Now let's take a look at the luxurious velour cape that Emily is wearing on her hunting trips. It reminds me a little bit of a Red Riding Hood's cape, and it's not a coincidence. Red Riding Hood is Emily's favorite fairy tale that her dad read to her when she was a kid. The cape is velour with a red silk lining. Both velour and silk are extremely soft to the touch. The cape is large and voluminous and is ruffled around the bottom. The cape has a hood. It is separated from the actual cape by a red silk ribbon that turns into ties. The base of the ties have beheaded details. The ties are long and treated so that the treads don't fall. The doll has long, slightly wavy hair. They're insanely soft and pleasant to the touch. Honestly, I can't just sit like that petting her hair and enjoying myself. That's how soft they are. The hair is a wig. It's held on her head using silicone and can be taken off. The wig is made out of Angora goat fur and is dyed black. There's a natural slanted part on her head. I can only imagine how Emily is floating in the dreams with her hair in the wind, just like that. Emily is wearing a luxurious red choker on her neck. As you know, chokers are in right now, and despite living in the world of dreams, Emily is trying to follow the fashion trends from the real world. From the back, the choker is tied up on the neck using silk ties. And as you have probably already noticed, Frankie's screws are sawed off, and they're not in the way. The hand with the molded glove was borrowed by the doll from Frankie's Sweet Screams. Aliana dyed it with brown acrylic, and then handmade the razors from metal using special tools. From metal. Handmade. When I heard that, I was stunned and realized that Aliana is the jack of all trades. The razors turned out very realistic, and they're actually sharp. And this whole construction really looks like Freddy Krueger's glove. The left hand is normal without a gesture. There's a red beaded bracelet on the wrist. Emily's dress is milky white and airy. The skirt is very voluminous and puffy. I imagine how this amazing dress is soaring when its owner is flying around in dreams. The dress's bodice is linen with the lining. The sleeves are cambric, lace, and chiffon. The bottom is cambric with the lace details. The skirt has 3 layers. The first 2 skirts have slightly different lengths so that the lace is visible, and they're also very voluminous and ruffled. The top skirts are much longer. There's a split on the front. That opens up the inner skirts and the beautiful legs. The top skirt is also very voluminous and is embroidered around the bottom edge with the white lace. There's a red ribbon attached to the skirt around the waist that is tied up into a large bow in the front. The bow ties are long. They look very pretty and are a uniformed composition together with the skirts. At the bottom, they are also treated against the falling threads. If you untie the bow, you can take off the top skirt. And voila! The dress becomes short and sassy. The waist is accentuated with a contrasting wide, bright red leather belt of a unique shape. On the back, the belt is tied up with the help of the thin red silk ribbon that is attached using metal rings. If we untie the bow, we can take the belt off. Here's how the dress looks without the belt or any other accessories, and I should say that I love her gentle image even like that. The dress is not on the Velcro on the back. There are 3 snaps that you unsnap in order to take it off. I've had this doll for some time now, and it still continues to surprise me. For example, I didn't even know that the bottom part of the sleeves is a separate piece, and if you take them off, the doll is left in a short cap sleeve dress. Oh my god, the dress is so cute. When all of the details are gone, it simply turns into this. I don't know, a fluffy cloud? I just love it. And now there's going to be a little bit of nudity. We're going to check out how the doll looks without the dress. Here, Lane painted a scar. There are some red spots and dots, just like on the doll's face. Maybe it's freckles. But let's hurry and put some clothes on the girl. As you can see, she's wearing these cute panties right now. But there's also a chemise that comes with them. It's a cute lingerie set. And the chemise has 2 snaps on the front and also thin silk purple straps. It is embroidered just like the bloomers with delicate lace. The fabric is cambric, silky to the touch. The chemise and the bloomers are also embellished with purple bows made out of the same ribbon as the straps. The bloomers have a rubber band on the top and can be easily taken off. The set looks very delicate overall and reflects the character's gentle nature. The doll is also wearing very pretty lacy nylon stockings with silicone on the top so they don't slide down. They're also embroidered with the lace there. It looks very delicate and not vulgar at all. The doll's shoes in this assembly are Draculaura's shoes from the Twilight collection. Aliana changed the color to light gray in certain spots. The most important of Emily's accessory is the jar that she takes with her to go hunting. I'm crazy about this petite detail. The crystals inside are shimmering really pretty and symbolize children's fear and screams. The jar looks like it is glass, but in reality it is clear plastic, and the cover is a real cork. There's a thin red ribbon attached to the jar, the same as on the doll's outfit. It forms into a pretty neat bow, and there's also a loop that is used to place the accessory into the doll's hand. When Emily is wearing the dress in Freddy Krueger sweater style, she looks like a homebody and insanely cute, when the idea was to make her look like a scary and convincing maniac. I want to separately voice my respect for this sweater to Aliana, as she told me that until that moment she hated knitting, but in order to gift this sweater to Freddy Krueger's daughter, she outperformed herself, and this is her knitting debut. I think it came out amazing. The dress really suits the doll. It's knee length. On the back, it has large beaded buttons around the neckline. It is extra easy to take it off and put it back on the doll. Emily prefers to match the dress with these knee-high boots. These are the customized boots from the Basic Ghoulia. When I saw them, I was very surprised because Basic Ghoulia is a rare find now. On completely black boots, Aliana painted a silver monster high skull on the sides and also red shoelaces with silver rings that imitate holes. And take notice that the boots were originally black, but Ghoulias are not black, so it might be a Taobao prototype, or their original color has been erased. I think that these boots are a perfect match for this image. I hope you were touched by Emily Krueger's story. I poured a lot of heart and soul into creating it. I also hope you like the actual doll. I'm personally crazy about her. I also want to thank Lane and Aliana one more time for helping me add this peculiar, slightly creepy, and very characteristic girl to my doll shelf. Write in comments which monster's daughter you would like seen in your collections. Smile more often and don't be scared of nightmares. Bye-bye, everyone.